Okay. So today is the first class of this new topic, coordinate geometry. We have already done the basic part about the Cartesian coordinate system. We call it Cartesian coordinate system. The x-axis and the y-axis that you see. Cartesian coordinate system. This is the name of this coordinate system where you have the vertical axis as the y-axis, horizontal axis as the x-axis. This is a plane, this is a page, sheet, and this is Cartesian coordinate system. Very few people know about this name. The students, the teachers, they know about it. So you can brag about your friend. Do you know Cartesian coordinate system? They know, but they don't know the name. They have studied this. So Cartesian coordinate system, and you know there are coordinates on this. Coordinate A is you always write the x1 and then the y. X coordinate is always written the first, and it is how much you traveled in the x from the origin. This is the origin. Origin coordinate is 0, comma 0. So sometimes they would write it down, connected to the origin. Find the equation of the line which passes through the origin. So origin, you should know that it is the point where your x is 0. You have not traveled in the x direction. You have not traveled in the y direction. So it is the center point, the middle point, origin. And then there are a few formulas over here that you need to learn. One of them is the gradient formula, gradient between two lines. Sorry, between 2 points. And then you have midpoint between 2 points. And then you have distance between 2 points, which you people have been doing since very long. And these are the first few formulas which I had quickly memorized, and I memorized already because it's so many times that I have done this. Y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. If you people still don't know about these, no worries. I'll share you the practice worksheet and everything. It will have everything. So it's not very difficult. Midpoint, the formula is you add the x coordinates x2 plus x1 divided by 2 and divide by 2. And you add the y coordinates y2 plus y1 upon 2. And for the distance, the difference in y whole square plus the difference
Square.
x whole square. You can write this part over here as well, this part over here as well. It doesn't matter, okay? It's positive, it's adding in the middle. So it doesn't matter if you write the x1 first and then the y1, it won't change. Over here, it will be different value. Your y will always be in the numerator and your x will always be in the denominator. So this is what actually, this is change in y upon change in x. How much y is changing with respect to x. So you
सर
should
मतलब
learn
एक
these formulas. They
क्वेश्चन है
won't give you. Sorry, yes.
सर मतलब ग्रेडियंट एक तरह से प्रोपोर्शन है
Proportion, yes, you can say. It gives you the relationship between the two variables. How much y will increase or decrease when your x will increase or decrease. I will go deeper into a gradient as well. Okay, gradient is a very important concept. If you understand over here, then your A level math will also get easier. It's a very simple logical thing, and we'll go deeper into gradient as well. Hopefully, let's see if in today's class or some in another. So, for example, in this one we have find the distance gradient and midpoint between 5 comma 4 and b is 1 comma 1. So I'll find the three things using the same formula, and there is a pattern in the formula. These formulas look very complicated, very much difficult, but once you'll do a few questions you will see that these are very simple. They have a simple
इसमें ग्राफ बनाना पड़ेगा.
no, it doesn't matter. You'll just need the formulas. You can use the formulas
So
directly.
answer
And
two
Okay,
is
sir.
so, as I know,
honest to answer.
if So what can we do is, you can give the names. So you can do this x1
-2
y1
आंसर है सर।
x2 y2 for what? For what? -2 is for what?
ये चीज, ये जो आंसर है ना,
Gradient, distance or midpoint.
ग्रेडियंट।
Yes, good. The thing is, let's wait for others as well. I know you know. It's okay. That's very good. But for others who don't properly understand this, you can give the names of x1 y1 x2 y2, because you can see over here we have x1 y1 x2 y2, and it doesn't matter. The most common sawal is, it doesn't matter if you give this x1 y2 x1 y1 or x2 y2, or you can give this x1 y1 or x2 y2. You will get the same answer. But it will matter if you give this x1 and then y2, and this one x2 and then y1. This would be wrong. If this is x1, the other one would be y1. If this is x2, the other one would be y2. You cannot mix them up. Now, if you want to find the gradient, small m AB, this denotes, the small m means the gradient. So this means gradient of AB. So whenever I write a small m, it will always be gradient. It is, the formula is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. And so now you will just input the values in the places. So 1 minus 4. Look at the things that we have. And then x2 is -1 minus 5. So you will get -3 upon -6. The gradient is, you got it wrong, Hassan. Half. The gradient is half.
अच्छा 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 सर, स्विच अप हो गया था, 6/3 कर दिया था।
Yes, मैंने यही बोला था अभी कि गलती यही होगी. Your y is always the numerator and then your denominator is your x. Now you find the distance between AB, which you can also write like this: A, B, and then these vertical lines, which means magnitude. So square root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. And then now you will just input the value.
6.71.
Let's see. X2 is -1 and then -5 whole square plus y2 is 1 minus 4 whole square. And you can just, if you want to simplify it right now, you can do it -6 square plus -3 square, or you can do it directly using your calculator as well. You will get the same answer. So 36 plus 9, which will be 45, which will be under root 45, will be a little bit less than 7. 6.71. 6.71 units. This is the distance between the 2 points. Okay. And then lastly, the midpoint. Capital M is used for midpoint. Capital M. Or you can write midpoint, which is the sum of x divided by 2 and the sum of y's divided by 2, which will be -1 plus 5 upon 2 and 1 plus 4 upon 2, which will become 2 comma 2.5. This is the midpoint. If I show you these things on a simple sketch, you will understand, I think, better. So you have one point which is 5 comma 4. So x is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the point A, 5 comma 4. If you want to show it on a this coordinate system, then you have B, which is -1, 1. So x is -1 and y is 1. So this point. So if you join this, so now you know the distance is between these 2 points A, B. The green line which I have marked over here, that is this, the 6.7 was the length of this green line. The midpoint will be 2 comma 2.5. So 2 comma 2.5 will be, this is 2, this is 3, so between. So you can see it is midpoint, exactly in the middle. This is 2 comma 2.5. Midpoint means that it will equally divide both this line, equally divide. So this means this part of the line will be equal to this length, this part of the length. It
सर
has equally divided, yes.
जब वो स्ट्रेट लाइन और बेस्ट फिट लाइन बनती है उसका ग्रेडियंट जब वो पॉइंट नहीं दिए तो उसका ग्रेडियंट निकाल
बहुत
के
आगे
बताना
निकल गए, बहुत आगे निकल गए. Line of best fit is in scatter diagrams. Over there,
नहीं
they
मतलब स्ट्रेट लाइन जो
will ask,
होती है
yes, that is also a straight line. But they will not ask you to get the gradient of that straight line. I don't think so. They will just ask you to form the straight line and then
हाँ
get a
लेकिन
correct answer.
एग्जाम में तो कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं ना
कुछ भी मतलब नहीं पूछेंगे, मैं बता रहा हूँ. They won't ask you this. If they want the gradient, they would
ओके सर
make a question of coordinate geometry. Okay? They know the situation of all the students, their caliber. का सवाल बनाने को तो कुछ भी बना दूं, मैं भी अभी बना दूं सब कुछ घुमा फिरा के, लेकिन वो फिर लेवल से ऊपर निकल जाएगा ना. समझ रहे हो? So don't worry. If you have this knowledge, you can apply that this thing over there as well. So don't worry about it. So this is how you would find the distance, the gradient, the midpoint, and this is what it represents over here. Look, this is how I've shown it to you. This is what it looks like. Okay, by the end of the class, I will give you a few points for you people to find the distance, gradient, and midpoint. It's simple. You'll just have to put in the formula, use your calculator, simplify manually, or using the calculator, get the final answer. That's it. This is only over here in this chapter, you only make silly mistakes. So try not to make those. The more important part I want to discuss is the gradient. This is a very important thing to understand. Not just learn this word. Gradient means slope or steepness, how steep the line is. It is not a value that you will see on the line, it is the property of a line. Property of a straight line, of a line, of a line. Now you can have 4 different types of values of gradient. Your gradient is small m, it can be positive. Your gradient is small m, it can be negative. Your gradient is small m, can be 0. Or your gradient can be infinity. I will tell you what is infinity. You don't need to, you will not see this. This is some extra, but I will give you this knowledge. Maybe it will help you later. This extra. These 3 values, more than 0, less than 0, positive, negative, and 0, these 3 are very important. You will see these in your examples. So when your gradient is positive, this means,
बचा क्या है फिर
ये बचा था ना, इसको मैंने कटा दिया. This means that your change in y upon change in x, it is positive. So if your y is changing, your x is also changing in the positive direction. So this means the line will always be tilted to the right side. So any line tilted to the right side will have a gradient which is positive. Any line tilted to the right side will have a positive gradient. Line will be tilted to the right side. And the steeper the line, the bigger the value of the gradient. So this is, let's suppose, m1, this is m2, this is m3. We don't know the exact values. I'm just giving it any name to the gradient of these lines. So the gradient of m1, the magnitude, the size of m1 will be bigger than the size of m2, which is bigger than the size of m3, which is bigger than the size of m4, because m4 is the low is the what do you say, the lowest, has the lowest steepness. M1 is the steepest one. So that's why the value of M will also be biggest. So let's suppose it is 10, this would be 8, this would be 6, this would be 2. Okay, I'm just giving you random values, but to make you understand the size, the maximum size of the magnitude will be of the steepest line. Then this would be smaller than the gradient of this. This would be smaller than both of these gradients. And the last one, M4, will be smaller than all three gradients because it is the least steep. Okay, then when your gradient is negative, so change in y upon change in x, it is negative. So let's suppose if your x is changing in the positive direction, your y is decreasing. So in this case, the lines that you will see, they would be tilted to the left side, like this. So all of these lines which are tilted to the left side, slightly left or fully left, all of these will have a negative gradient. So in this one, lines tilted to the
सर
left side, yes.
सर जो सबसे ज्यादा स्टीप होगी उसका एंगल ज्यादा होगा या उसकी लेंथ ज्यादा होगी?
लेंथ की बात ही नहीं की मैंने, एंगल की भी बात नहीं की। आपको बस शक्ल देखो ना, उसकी ग्रेडियंट सबसे बड़ा होगा, हाईएस्ट बिगेस्ट ग्रेडियंट, जिसकी स्टीपनेस ज्यादा होगी। So let's suppose if there is one line which is like this and there's another line which is like this, which one is steeper, A or B?
ए.
So the size of the gradient will be bigger of A. Okay.
ओके सर.
And if there's a line like this and there's a line like this, which one will have a positive gradient, A or B?
ए.
A.
Because that is the one which is tilted to the right side. Yes, good. And B will have a negative gradient because it is tilted to the left side. Any questions, anyone?
No.
नाम भूल गया, सहर, अबिहा, साद, इब्राहिम.
जी सर, क्लियर है.
No, sir.
No one will teach you this, I can guarantee. But I usually give this information because this is just opens your mind. You think better when you see the question. Coordinate geometry is one of the easiest topics. If you just learn the formulas and start applying the formulas, you don't know how to use your brain. I don't like that. You go through the basics, you learn what is everything, how is everything related, and then you use your own brain as well, and then you enjoy as well. Otherwise ये तो रट्टा लगाओ, आंसर निकालो, खत्म बात. मैंने वही किया था अपने टाइम पे, आंसर आ गए थे, ए स्टार भी आ गया था, लेकिन आई अंडरस्टूड ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स लेटर ऑन कि भाई ये सिंपल से लॉजिक थी, क्यों नहीं बताया भाई, ये चीज़ें आराम से रिलेट, यू कैन रिलेट द थिंग्स एज वेल. Even now if you don't properly get this, after some practice question, if you get things wrong or you will move on to a higher level, you will see one way or the other, you will start relating this knowledge that I'm giving you right now. This will help you out. Horizontal line has a gradient which is change in y upon change in x is equals to 0. This means that y is not changing. There is zero change in y when your x is changing, isn't it? So this means that your line is horizontal. Any horizontal line
Is
will
equals to
have,
0.
yes, will have gradient 0.
सर वैसे सर आप कितने घंटे पढ़ते थे अपने ओ लेवल्स पे? How many hours is like required to study?
भाई सबका अपना होता है. I did not used to study that much. I used to work on the, मैं हर चीज़ करता था. अब मैं बाद में बताऊंगा मैंने क्या क्या किया है, लेकिन I was teaching as well while I was giving my O levels, ट्यूशंस वगैरह उस वक्त भी देता था. लेकिन हर चीज़ का अपना अपना टाइम होता है. यू गिव द प्रॉपर टाइम, जहाँ रिक्वायर्ड हो वहाँ पर एफिशिएंटली काम करे बंदा, तो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. एंड आई डिड नॉट
सर
टेक एनी.
बहुत अच्छा
सवाल पूछा है इस टाइम पर,
क्या क्या वापस बोलो।
टाइम पास करने। सर इसने पूछा है वो सवाल जो सर छठ सवाल है टाइम पास करने के लिए।
चैट सवाल है क्या, समझा नहीं मैं।
सर ये जो उसने सवाल किया है ना सर आपसे कि
हाँ
वो जो पढ़ने का, वो सबसे अच्छी टाइमिंग
हाँ।
है उसकी इस वक्त टाइम पास करने के लिए।
चलो कोई बात नहीं, बेचारे को सवाल होगा जेन्युइन। इट्स ओके, आई विल टेल यू लेटर अपॉन माई सेल्फ एज वेल। कोई बात नहीं, होता है जेन्युइन सवाल, कोई बात नहीं। लेकिन अगर टाइम पास करने वाली नहीं है तो फिर डेफिनेटली इट्स नॉट अ गुड थिंग राइट नाउ। मुझे पता है, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम नॉट गोइंग डीपर। थोड़ा बहुत चलता है। ओके, सो नाउ दिस इज समथिंग विच इज एक्स्ट्रा। जिसको समझ में आ गया चिल, जिसको समझ में ना आया वो भी चिल। सो दिस इज gradient is infinity. This is a straight vertical line. So the steepness, look at the steepness, it has infinite steepness. Infinity is what? Infinity is a very 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 large number, never ending number. It is larger than the largest number that you can think. So it's not a single number, it is a ever increasing number. So infinity gradient, because now you can see that it has infinite steepness. Steepness क्या है कि vertical line steepness को बिल्कुल straight ऊपर की तरफ, maximum steepness. Okay, so a vertical line will have a gradient of infinity, but this is just for knowledge. This part is important for you. If you understand this thing, your life will get easier. So just by looking at the line, any line that the examiner gives you in the on the graphs, in the question paper, or if you have the gradient value, then you have a picture in your mind कि ये line कहाँ से कहाँ जानी चाहिए. Will it be tilted to the right side? Will it be tilted to the left side? Just by the value of the gradient. If you have two lines, and you have two gradients, you can also assess which one will be steeper, which one will be above the other, है ना? So that's why go through this thing again as well later on if you don't feel as confident right now, but this will one way or the other will benefit you.
सर
Then yes.
डिफरेंशिएशन ग्रेडियंट के फॉर्मूला के अंदर
Hmm.
डिफरेंस y ओवर डिफरेंस x क्यों होता है, उल्टा क्यों नहीं होता?
Difference x upon difference y, ये कह रहे हो?
जी सर।
क्योंकि हमारा जो ग्राफ होता है इट इज योर y axis is the vertical axis and your x axis is the horizontal axis. You can do change in x upon change in y as well, लेकिन कुछ चीज़ें जो है ना स्टैंडर्डाइज कर देते हैं, तो हर दफ़ा आप वही करोगे तो यू नो हाउ द वर्ल्ड वर्क्स। कुछ चीज़ें दुनिया में भी स्टैंडर्डाइज की जाती हैं ताकि हर कोई वही चीज़ लगाए, ताकि किसी को कन्फ्यूजन ना हो। इफ़ यू वांट टू डू समथिंग एल्स, इफ़ यू वांट टू डू समथिंग डिफरेंट देन द वर्ल्ड, देन यू कैन डू दैट, बट यू वोंट कॉल दैट ग्रेडियंट, यू कैन कॉल इट समथिंग एल्स। ये एक स्टैंडर्ड चल गया है कि योर इक्वेशन ऑफ द लाइन, फॉर एग्जांपल the general equation of the line, which we will move on to the next thing, is y is equals to mx plus c. Now if you have this equation of the line, so you need this gradient value, and this gradient value is change in y upon change in x. Over here if you would do change in x upon change in y, this won't work, क्योंकि ये एक स्टैंडर्ड बन गया ना आपके लिए, समझ रहे हो? So you will have to change the equation as well if you want to do change in x upon change in y या कुछ और you can do. ठीक है, it's okay, it's good, it's a good question, you can explore things on your own as well. लेकिन कुछ चीज़ें स्टैंडर्ड कर देते हैं दुनिया भर में, ताकि फिर मसला ना हो ना हर जगह। फिर मैं बोलूँ भाई मैं तो ऐसे करूँगा, आप बोलोगे मैं तो वैसे करूँगा, तो फिर कौन कैसे क्या करे? ओके, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन एनीवन? No questions. Okay, so now we move on
No,
to
sir.
line, a straight line. Now you have two formats of the equation of line. You have the gradient intercept form, which is y is equals to mx plus c. and you have the general form, which is ax plus by is equals to c. Which out of these two, I prefer this one, the first one. This one is easier. Y is equals to mx plus c. And they would ask you to find the equation of the line passing through. Find the equation of the line passing through the 2 points that we took were 5, 4 minus 1, 1. Now, if you want to find the equation of the line, you should, if they ask you to find the equation of the line, your mind should
y
quickly,
minus y1
you,
is equals to m.
your mind should quickly uh, reach the point that you would need the gradient. Definitely, you don't know what is the gradient, and you need one more point. Or if you have 2 points, then you can find the gradient yourself as well. So somehow you need to find for that particular line that they're asking you to find. Do you have the gradient of the line? And do you have 1 point on the line? If you have it, then that would be enough. Otherwise, you need 2 points. Right now, they have given you the 2 points. And they're asking you that these 2 points, the line that we made over here, this green one, find the equation of this green line. So we need the gradient and we need the c value. So y is equals to mx plus c, where m, this is your gradient, and c, this is your y-intercept. Y-intercept means where your x is 0, where the line is crossing the y-axis. M and C. So in this case, right now they have given you the 2 points. Let's call this A, let's call this B. So you need the gradient of AB. So gradient of AB, which we already found in the previous example over here, the gradient was half. So you can substitute. So your gradient is half. So now if you know the value of gradient, you can replace it in the value of M. So the remaining part would be y is equals to 1 upon 2 x plus c. And now to find the value of c, you need to substitute any one of the points. To find c, use any one point on the line which they have given you. So you have 2 points, 5, 4 and minus 1, 1. You can use any of them. You will get the same answer for the value of c. So let's suppose I am taking the point A, which is 5, 4. So you can see that the value of y is 4 and the value of x is 5 plus c. So what do I get? 4 is equals to 5 upon 2 plus c, and 4 is equals to 2.5 plus c, and then c is 4 minus 2.5. And this would be equal to 1.5 or 3 upon 2. So now you have the value of c as well. So you wanted the value of m, you found it using the gradient formula. And you wanted the value of c, you substitute the value of m and then the point, one of the points, and you got the value of c. And now the final answer would be, you replace both these values. So y is equals to 1 upon 2x plus 1.5. This is it. This is the equation of the line joining these 2 points. So now you know the general equation of the line, the gradient intercept form, and that you need the gradient and 1 point at least to find the equation of the line. And this is the example we did over here. Okay, any questions, anyone? And just by looking at this
No,
equation,
sir.
I can see that the gradient is positive. So this means it is a line which is related to the right side. And the y-axis, it is intersecting at the y-axis at 1.5. So I have an image in my mind without the graph. I don't need the graph. I have the image directly in my mind. So look, it would be something like this. It is a right-sided line and the y-intercept is 1.5. Look, the y value is 1.5 when your x is 0. So this is C, your y-axis, y-intercept. Okay, copy this down. If you have any questions, ask. I'll do another example. Example we will do later on in the next class. Right now, I will give you people some questions. You people try. Find the distance, find the gradient, find the what did I tell you? Distance, gradient, or क्या था? Midpoint, and the equation of the line between the 2 points that I'm giving you. Okay, I'm stopping the recording now. This is it for today's class. We have done a lot of things. Hopefully, you people have understood a lot of things.